Good afternoon, dear fellow students. I'm extremely delighted to welcome you all to the English speech contest hosted by our college. This contest aims to boost your comprehensive English application abilities and foster a vibrant English learning atmosphere on campus. Before we kick off, let me briefly introduce the two main themes. The first one is cultural difference and how to handle them. You are expected to point out the difference between Chinese and Frisian cultures, such as disparities and social etiquette and family values, and then offer practical solutions. The second theme is my favorite Frisian culture experience. Here, you can share your most unforgettable overseas culture encounters, like participating in Frisian festivals or tasting exotic cuisines. which will vividly showcase the difference and charm of Chinese and Frisian cultures. Now, let's give a warm welcome to all the contestants from Henan University of Engineering. You've all bravely stepped onto this stage, ready to present your unique, presentative, and outstanding English skills. We are looking forward to your wonderful performances. Next, I'd like to clarify the rules. First, regarding the speech content, it should closely adhere to the chosen theme, be positive, and demonstrate thought. Provoking ideas, logical reasoning, and a strong appeal, the language should be accurate, fluid, and with minimal grammar mistakes. Each speech should last between 2 to 3 minutes. Extra or insufficient time will lead to deducation. Second, all contestants are required to deliver the speech without note. Third, the scoring system is based on a 100-point scale, 40 points for content, 30 points for language expression, 20 points for presentation skills, and 10 points for appearance and manner. The score will be given on the spot by professional Frisian teachers and English teachers, and the result will be announced in the QQ group after the competition. The highest and the lowest score will be removed, and the average score will be your final result. Now, without further ado, let's start this exciting competition. Let's welcome the first contestant. He is Liu Zhuofei.
Hello everyone. Let's start with the fun circumstance. You're studying at a dinner table with your friend and your friend. As they say, well, the food is interesting, a little bit salty. In West, it is okay. It's just a casual feedback. But in China, if you say anything negative about food, people might think you're 吃亏, meaning you're gonna eat loss. So, here's a tip. In China, when you don't like the food, you can just keep smiling and say, well, the food is tasty. I mean, in both things, that is a win-win. In West, going to like, hey, how are you? A casual info, not big deal. But in China, if someone asks you like this, 你吃了吗? I mean, have you eaten? It is like a positive way of saying, how are you? It is not caring about food, it is about caring for you. My tip for foreigners, don't be confused if someone asks you like this. You can always say, I've eaten, but I'm ready for more delicious. I've eaten, but I'm ready for more if something delicious. You are not just eating their food, you're just eating their heart too. When it comes to personal space, let's say the East and West already have a difference. In West, people love their personal space, don't invade it. But in China, people get close, really close. You could be standing in a line at a store and someone stand really next to you. So, my take for it is simple. Next time when someone stand really next to you, just take a deep breath, smell, and just remember, they're not trying to crowd you, they're just trying to get close to your heart. Finally, a humor always helps to bridge cultures. When you are in China, you see someone raise their glass, you can raise yours too and say, here's for an awkward silence. If they're for more tea, you can just say, I have a chair to die. I mean, tear to die. It is all about having fun with difference. In conclusion, culture difference don't have to be a challenge. With humor, words, and curiosity, we can all connect, love, and learning from each other. So, let's do that. Thank you.
Thanks to the Liu Zhuofei's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Please invite Zhou Yifan.
audience, have you ever feel a whole new world open up when you were immersed in a foreign culture? It's actually happened to me during my time in Spain. The most unforgettable part is doing the roti bolina in Buno. Uh, before before going Buno, I couldn't help see emerging what how what crazy it would be. Uh, but when I arrived at Buno, I found people uh, people from all from the world were filled with in the noble street and street and excited for tomato throwing. As soon as the single sound, potato flew everywhere. In a short time, the air was full of the smelled potatoes. The street became a red, slippery mess. People were laughing, shouting, and throwing potatoes without hesitation. Amid chaos, there was a sense of unity. Strangers became friends, simply enjoying the time. My time in Spain was not just a trip; it was a culture awakening. Those experiences made me see the beauty of different culture and appreciate different ways of life. So I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone, explore the different culture, and appreciate the different ways of life. Uh, what I think you will find what amazing things you never know before. Thank you.
Thanks to Zhou Yifan's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite He Sixuan.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 years ago, I experienced the warmest November in my life, not because of the weather, but because of an American family Thanksgiving dinner. When Mrs. Jackson invited me to carve the turkey, I froze. In my country, the eldest always serves the food. But here, the youngest guest was given this honor. As I nervously held the knife, the 10-year-old Tommy whispered, "Just pretend it's your birthday cake." His innocent advice made me don't worry. Later came the gratitude chain. Each person shared thanks while holding a red ribbon. When the ribbon reached me, I said, "I'm so thankful for your patience when I mistook the salt for sugar yesterday." Everyone laughed. Mrs. Jackson kept my section of ribbon, saying, "This is our new family tradition." That night taught me 3 things. The food tastes better when shared. The languages matter less than smells. And every country builds bridges in different ways, but love is always important. From Xi'an to Boston, from mooncakes to pumpkin pies, we all have invisible lights in our hands. When we wave them together with curiosity and kindness, they become the strongest lights connecting human hearts. Thank you.
Thanks to He Sixuan's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Hua Runyi.
Ladies and gentlemen, faculty members, and dear students, good afternoon. Today, I'm delighted to share with you a cherished memory from my travels, a foreign culture experience that left a lasting impression on me. During a summer vacation, I visited New Zealand, where I had the privilege of participating in Bluff Oyster Festival. This festival is deeply rooted in the country's rich history and culture, and it was a breathtaking spectacle of colors, sounds, and flavors. Walking through the streets adorned with vibrant decorations, I was enchanted by the sight of listeners swaying gently in the breeze, and the melodious tones of traditional music echoing through the air. The aroma of exotic spices filled the atmosphere, promoting culinary delights that were both tantalizing and unfamiliar. One of the highlights for me was tasting wine, a dish that perfectly encapsulated the essence of New Zealand's culinary heritage. The blend of flavors was a delightful surprise, a testament to the intricate and diverse culinary artistry of the region. This experience taught me the importance of cultural exchange and understanding. It highlighted the beauty of diversity and the unique ways in which different societies express their traditions and beliefs. It was a reminder that despite our differences, we are all interconnected by a shared humanity. In conclusion, my favorite foreign culture experience was more than just a glimpse into a different world. It was a profound lesson in empathy and appreciation. As we go through life, let us cherish these opportunities to learn from and embrace different cultures. Thank you.
Thanks to Hua Renyi's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Qin Mingyue.
Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Last summer vacation, I joined an international summer camp. After a topic exchange session, I was still sitting there, chatting with enthusiasm with a Chinese boy. Then, all of a sudden, a really tall Australian man came over and, believe it or not, knelt across the table right in front of us. My friend and I were totally dumbfounded. A million crazy thoughts flashed through my mind. With a big smile on his face, he looked as relaxed as he could be. But still, his actions scared the living daylights out of both of us. We quickly helped him up and asked what on earth was going on. He was equally confused and said he was just interested in our culture and wanted to have a chat with us. Then we had a talk about the meaning culture. In traditional Chinese culture, there is one famous saying that a man's knees are as precious as gold. People really think that kneeling down easily is an act of losing dignity. But we only kneel on important occasions, such as when worshipping ancestors, saluting elders at weddings, or expressing grief for the deceased at funerals. However, in Australia, kneeling doesn't carry so much meaning. They also attach importance to looking each other in the eye during communication, and by kneeling down, they can make eye contact at the same level. That's why the guy knelt in front of us. After that, every time we think about this incident, we can't help but laugh. But we deeply realize the cultural differences between China and other countries. Now, it's a global era with booming cultural exchanges. When getting along with foreign friends or traveling abroad, it's a good idea to learn the cultural differences between the two countries in advance. At the same time, we should face the cultural differences with an open arm, respect other cultures, learn excellent foreign cultures, and strive for a path that brings Chinese culture to all over the world. That's all. Thanks.
Thanks to Qin Mingyue's wonderful speech. Please ask George to read it. Next, please invite Wei Mengjiao.
Good afternoon. It's my honor to be here. Today I want to share the cultural difference between Eastern and Western families through my favorite American TV show, Young Sheldon. Sheldon, a 9-year-old, a 9-year-old Janice in high school. Of people don't get Sheldon's crazy ideas, but his mother always cheered for his own ideas. One day, he built a robot arm for homework, even though it broke the TV. His mother said, "You are, you are good." In Western cultures, parents often prize effort over result. Yet in many Asian families, parents focus more on outcomes. Focus on your studies or don't waste time on your useless things. Mary also understands Sheldon's fears. One stormy night, young Sheldon hid under his bed, terrified of thunder. Mary sat beside him and said, "It's okay to be scared. Even Jennings feel afraid. But remember, you are safe with me." Instead of saying, "Be a man or don't crying," Western parents always ask, "How do you feel?" In Eastern cultures, parents often ask, "Don't waste time on the useless things," or "Focus on your studies." But here is the truth. No matter Eastern culture or Western culture, on better or worse, whether it's you are amazing or work you harder, both mean the same thing. I want you to be your best self. Let's learn to understand different kinds of ways of expressing love. We don't need to be perfect or seek constant approval. Instead, let's celebrate our progress and enjoying growing up. Thank you.
Thanks to Wei Mengjiao's wonderful speech. Please ask George to read it. Next, please invite Lu Yashu. Sorry.
Hello everyone. Today I want to share a story about how a messy tomato battle in Spain taught me how to appreciate cultural differences. Let me start with the scene. Last summer, I traveled to a small Spanish town called Bo. Early in the morning, the streets were filled with people wearing white clothes. Suddenly, a loud noise signaled the start of the festival. Trucks drove in, throwing tons of ripe tomatoes into the crowd. People began laughing, shooting, throwing tomatoes at each other. At first, I stood still, unsure what to do. But when a tomato hit me shoulder, I couldn't help but laugh. I picked up a tomato, threw it at a stranger, and then soon people around me became friends. By the end, we were all covered with white juice, but the smiles on our faces were even brighter. This festival was very different with Chinese traditions. In China, holidays like the Mid-Autumn Festival focus on quiet moments, but in Spain, people use this white tomato fight to celebrate freedom and joy. A local told me, "Sometimes you need to forget rules and just enjoy life." I realized that cultures value happiness. They just express it in unique ways. After the tomato fight, we washed off the mess and shared a meal. Even though we have different languages, the laughter and warmth connected us. From this experience taught me two things. First, cultural differences are like spices. They make life more interesting. Second, understanding another culture doesn't require perfect language skills. It requires an open heart and a willingness to try new things. So, if you have a chance to join a foreign festival, don't hesitate. Jump in. Even if you feel nervous, you might end up with tomato in your hair, but you also get memories that last forever. Thank you.
Thanks to Lu Yashu's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Zhang Jinyuan.
尊敬的老师，亲爱的同学们，大家下午好。今天我演讲的主题是 cultural difference and how to handle them. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about cultural difference and how we can handle them. As the world becomes more connected, understanding this difference is crucial. One major difference is in social etiquette. In China, it's common to greet someone with a nod, a handshake, while in Western cultures, a hug or a kiss on the cheek may be more appropriate. To handle this, we should respect and avoid making quick judgments. Another difference lies in family values. In many Western cultures, we can navigate. In many Western cultures,对不起，老师，忘了。对不起。Another difference lies in family values. In many Western cultures, individualism is emphasized, and children often move out at a young age. In contrast, Chinese family value close borders, and it's common for multiple generations to live together. To bridge this gap, we should respect each other's structures and avoid making quick judgments. In conclusion, by being observant, respectful, and open-minded, we can navigate cultural difference effectively. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to Zhang Jinyuan's wonderful speech. I think it's very good. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Xu Shijie.
Dear teachers and students, it's my pleasure to be here discussing the cultural difference between China and foreign countries and how to deal with this difference. Of course, what I focus on today is social etiquette and views expression. In China, when we meet someone for the first time, we usually shake hands in a warm and friendly way. However, in some foreign countries, such as France, they may kiss each other on both cheeks. In Japan, they often bow as a sign of respect. These different ways of greeting may sometimes cause confusion. As for dealing such difference, before we communicate with people from different cultures, we can do some research first, find out what kind of greeting they use in advance. If we have opportunity to interact with them, we observe them, we observe them. If someone indicates a greeting of some kind, we follow it politely. In addition, there exists some difference on views expression. Chinese thinking is usually euphemistic, while Western thinking is more straight. They tend to express their thoughts more directly. So when we communicate with Westerners, we can try to express our thoughts more directly to promote communication efficiency. Surely, when facing Chinese, you should pay attention to understanding the meaning behind the words. Think more from other point of views and don't rush to ask for a clear response. In short, the cultural differences are various. We should not fear or avoid them, but rather actively learn about them, respect them, and adapt to them. Only in this way can we better communicate and cooperate with foreign countries from different black cultures. background and promote the harmonious coexistence of global cultures. Thank you.
Thanks to Xu Shijie's wonderful speech. Please ask a judge to read it. Next, please invite Yang Zifan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'd like to talk about a topic that is both fascinating and increasingly relevant in our interact world: cultural differences and how to handle them. As we globalize, we find ourselves interacting with people from diverse backgrounds more frequently than ever. This exposure brings a wealth of opportunities for learning and growth. But it also presents challenges, particularly when it comes to understanding and navigating cultural differences. One prominent example of cultural divergence lies in social etiquette. In many Western cultures, direct eye contact and a firm handshake are seen as signs of respect and confidence. However, in some Eastern cultures, excessive eye contact can be perceived as rude or aggressive, while a lighter handshake or even a bow might be more appropriate. Understanding this nuisance is crucial in building rapport and avoiding misunderstandings. Another significant area where cultural differences manifest is in family values and structures. In Western societies, individualism is highly valued, and adults often live independently from their parents. Conversely, in many Eastern cultures, family ties are deeply rooted, and multi-generational living is common. These differences can influence everything from how decisions are made to how personal relationships are prioritized. So, how can we effectively handle these cultural departures? Firstly, open-mindedness key. Approach each interaction with a willingness to learn and understand. Recognize that what may be normal or acceptable in your culture may differ vastly in another. Secondly, active listening and observation are invaluable tools. Pay attention to nonverbal cues, tone of voice, and body language. These often convey more than words alone. Thirdly, research and education can go a long way. Before traveling to a new country or engaging with individuals from a different culture, take the time to learn about their costumes, traditions, and social norms. This not only shows respect, but also helps you navigate the environment more smoothly. Lastly, patience and humility are essential. Cultural adaptation is a process, and mistakes are inevitable. When you do a misstep, acknowledge it gracefully and learn from it. Remember, cultural competence is a journey, not a destination. In conclusion, differences enrich our lives and broaden our perspectives. By embracing these differences with openness, understanding, and respect, we can build stronger, more inclusive communities. As we continue our traverse this global village, let us strive to be not just the travelers, but mindful and considerate citizens of the world. Thank you.
Thanks to Yang Zifan's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Zhang Ke.
Good afternoon, everyone. The theme of my speech is the invisible walls of cultural difference. Imagine this: you warmly ask a Western friend, "Have you gained weight? Have you gained weight?" You intending to show concern, but you can see them stand there with uncomfortable, anybody know the reason? That's because they feel they were defensed. This moment reveals the invisible wall of cultural difference. Today, let's break down these walls and learn how to turn confusion into connection. In China, asking question about age, income, or marital status is a way to show concern. While in the West, such questions often feel invasive. Similarly, refusing a gift in China, in China, uh, in China often seem polite initially, but persistence is expected. Yet in the West, insisting after a word no may be regarded as pushy, and the solution is ask questions, not assumptions. For example, we can do this. We can say in my culture we often do this, and what's your preference to show respect? Cultural clashes are not failures; they are learning opportunities. There is one people say, I saw people in West were cold until I realized that their how are you is not a question, it's a hello, it's a greeting. And the solution is use humor lightly. If you make a mistake, just laugh it off. Oh, dude, my cultural handbook needs an update. In this way, the awkward atmosphere will transfer into a relaxed atmosphere. As I saying goes, the world is a book, and those who don't travel only read one page. Let's read the book together, one respectful question at a time. Thanks.
Thanks to Zhang Ke's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Kang Xinyi.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kang Xinyi, and it's my pleasure to give a speech here. I was raised in a monocultural small town. So, cultural differences, it seems a no idea for me until I went to college and became an English major student. I started to learn more different culture in other countries. Just like the Americans was outgoing, so when they met, they just hug or kiss each other. And the Japanese, they were just bored because they were shy, like that. はじめまして、よろしくお願いします。So, is that all? So I mean that no one think this is too superficial. I mean, all of us most learned it just like some common knowledge. But I still always think it's too superficial. Just like Lu You's most famous poems. If you want to understand something, you must practice by yourself. So here is the problem. How should we practice this problem? To travel? To study abroad? As a common student, it seems too hard to achieve it. And in nowadays technologically advanced world, we have many ways to learn to put ourselves in a different cultural environment without moving our rooms. That is internet. And then, how should we get useful information from internet? Individually. Just like my favorite mood is that interest is the best teacher. I'm quite satisfied in the dad joke. Did you know the dad joke? Please follow my mind, please. Which one is faster, cold or hot? Anyone knows? Which one is faster? Yes, you know me. Give me 5. Why answer is hot? Because you can catch a cold. So it's really funny.
dry and cold British humor, right? But if I haven't learned English, I can't feel and enjoy that simple pleasure. So when we meet different culture, why won't we enjoy it and hug it? Just as the saying goes, everyone cherishes his beauty, and everyone cherishes others' beauty as his own. This different all kind of beauty compress a beautiful world, and all of us live in this beautiful world. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Thanks to Kang Xinyi's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. Next, please invite Gao Mengyuan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about cultural differences and how we can handle them. In this era of globalization, cultural differences are everywhere. Understanding and managing these differences is not only crucial for our personal growth, but also essential for building harmonious international relationships. Let's start with social etiquette. In Western countries, people often maintain a certain physical distance during conversations. For example, in the United States, a comfortable speaking distance is about an arm's length. However, a comfortable speaking distance is an arm's length. However, in many Asian countries, people may stand closer when talking, which could make Westerners feel uncomfortable. Another example is the way of greeting. In Western cultures, a handshake or a kiss on the cheek is common, while in some Asian countries, a bow is the traditional way to show respect. Family values also vary greatly across cultures. In Western societies, individualism is highly emphasized. Young people tend to move out of their parents' homes after reaching adulthood to pursue their own lives. Independence and personal space are highly valued. In contrast, in many Asian cultures, family unity is of utmost importance. Multi-generational families often live together, and family members have strong obligations to each other. So, how can we handle these cultural differences? First, we need to be open-minded. Instead of judging others' cultural practices as strange or wrong, we should be willing to learn and understand them. For instance, when in a foreign country, observe how locals behave and try to adapt. Second, effective communication is key. If you are unsure about a cultural norm, don't be afraid to ask. Most people are happy to explain their customs. Third, respect is the foundation. Respecting cultural differences means respecting the values, beliefs, and traditions of others. In conclusion, cultural differences are an inevitable part of globalized world. By being open-minded, communicating effectively, and showing respect, we can bridge the cultural gap and build a more inclusive and harmonious global community. Thank you.
Thanks to Gao Mengyuan's wonderful speech. Please ask the judge to read it. What an amazing display of talent and knowledge. All the contestants have presented outstanding speeches, showing us deep insights into culture differences and their own unique culture experience. Your hard work and dedication have made this contest a great success. Please ask the staff to collect the judge score sheets. Meanwhile, we invite the judge to give comments on this speech contest. Who first?
Oh, we finished already? All right. I do have a few comments. I remember when I came here in China, a lot of students start asking me, oh, how can I improve my speech? And then I have to tell them, oh, okay, we need to break it down, right? So I have a few ways of evaluating students. I'm going to give you a few tips. One thing that you have to do is kind of having a good pronunciation. If people don't understand you, so what's the point of giving a speech, right? So the other thing is the accent. Everybody do have an accent, but it should not be able to prevent other people to not understanding you. So one good exercise to improve your accent or lose your accent is to sing a music. So I tell my students, all of the exercise that I give them are very simple. So if you sing American music, like you listen and then you try to sing the same way the singer does, your accent is going to improve. Another one, for example, that I notice here, so when somebody comes here and read, they lose the eye contact. So eye contact makes the audience like you more. I see a lot of people come here and do a lot of eye contact. Sometimes they look at me, they look at a few people in the audience. This is very good. Another thing is reading. When you read, you lose the eye contact, right? So one thing works against the other. The other thing that I notice here is gestures. So, for example, when students come here and start talking, I'm going to talk about one thing, the second thing, the third thing. So, gestures is also a very, very good thing when you're speaking because it draws the attention to you. So it makes the audience likes you more. Even your speech become a better. People understand your speech better. So these are a few tips that I start looking and I post on my blog. So when a student asks me, oh, how can I improve? I gave them my blog. So I break it down little things like this that it can help you a lot. So I'm very pleased. I recorded. I intended to do the same here again. So I'm gonna post later. So break it down why you're better, why you're not so good. So and things that you can improve. Thank you very much for the invitation. I really enjoyed the speech. A lot of you are very good. But thank you. Okay.
OK。我就不用那个英文说了哈。我想提一点，就是你知道这个演讲嘛？演讲注意的其实不光光是发音，刚才我要讲的咱们发音可能不会有同学，包括看有几个，至少有具体名字我不点了，我这点儿记得有。这个单词的重音是有问题的，就是你的重音的前后，一个单词的重音是有问题的，这是第一点。第二点就是，有的一上来呢，看似你的很流利哈，但是呢，你都是在背稿。你要知道，你参加这个演讲比赛，而不是看谁稿子背的熟练，这很重要。然后还有一点呢，就是眼神交流，要不然就是上来的时候，主要是看这个学生站的方位，站这儿呢你就朝这儿交流，这边的观众根本看不到你。你要知道，一上来的时候，我个人啊不建议走上来的时候就开始说，因为你要知道这个你在对稿子，而且对这个场部没有十足把握之前，不要走着上来说，立定了之后再说啊，这是很重要。除非是我们在一个广场上这样的形式，你要注意这个演讲的形式，然后还有那个，我想提一个同学，刚才那个张金元在吗？我可以说你的声音很适合演讲。我不知道你们有没有听过那个马丁路德金的那个演讲，你的声音跟他特别相似，就是你的这个演讲的这个节奏也好，还有你的这个你的感染力也好，虽然哈你忘词了哈，这是另说，因为你可能比较紧张，但是你的整个的感染力跟那个这个语音语调，包括你的声音是很适合你的，所以你可以往这个方面发展。我觉得你的声音还是比较，当然其他同学也很好，但是他的这个声音比较让我记得比较清楚，啊，其他的没啥，大家都很好。
Thank you for inviting me. It was really a pleasure to be here and listen to all your presentations. Some of the students, they were really impressive. I really love that. I can tell, number one, I don't remember the names, but I can tell the numbers of the students. Like number 1, number 3, number 5, number, what else? Number 11. especially number 11. It was quite impressive. I really loved the way that you came here and introduced your speech. It was really impressive. So I have some of the comments for the rest of you. The first thing is the pronunciation. I'm not talking about the accent. I agree with Marcelo when he said everyone has an accent, right? But the most thing that you need to pay attention is the clarity, the way that you pronounce the word. For example, some of you, they were saying smell. I don't know whether you're talking about the smell or the smile. So it made me a little bit confused. Like, I can't understand the full idea if you keep making some, like, pronunciation mistakes. So the first thing that pay attention to the way that you pronounce the word, so you can keep that's it. To keep the audience connected with you. The second thing is about the tone, pitch tone. Especially you, I understand that you had some panic here. Well, panic is something natural for everyone, even for us as teachers or even professors, everyone. Everyone who's doing some public speaking is a bit having a kind of panic. So try to reduce that panic by having an eye contact with people. Even if you forget what you're talking about, try to come up with an example or a story that connects to what you're talking about, just to reduce the panic. But you really did good. Just practice your tone, like it was a little bit higher, or like kind of higher than the normal pitch or the normal tone. So just practice that a little bit. I have another comment. I think I can just stop at this point here. So it's about the clarity, about the pronunciation, and the tone when you are presenting. Just keep that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We sincerely appreciate the professional guidance and enthusiastic encouragement from the judge. Thank you all for your activity participation. This context not only provides a platform for you to showcase your English skills, but also depends our understanding of different cultures. Let's keep learning and exploring in the world of English. Have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, it's finished.